It's one of the craziest things to me is that Fox News is more accurate today than all these other outlets.
They are.
And it's funny because you know what I think happened? If you look at, this is the example I've used the past few days. If you look at The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, when James O'Keefe and Project Veritas released the Acorn expose,
Yep.
Jon Stewart uncritically showed the footage. He was showing the footage and he didn't say very much at all about Project Veritas. He was like, look at what these people are saying. Oh man, this Acorn stuff is crazy. And then he said, if this guy can do this, journalists, where were you? And I'm like, that's a huge compliment for Veritas.
Yes.
And the audience cheered. And then Jon Stewart retires. And now we get current year, little Timothy, and Samantha Bee. But I feel like Jon Stewart had no problem being honest when someone like James O'Keefe would get it right. But when he leaves, you end up with this formulaic shell.
Yes.
It's like a plastic shell. And so you look at these news outlets, they have no original thought.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Oh, let's hear it.
They wanted Jon Stewart to become an empty shell, and he wouldn't, so he left.
Really? What do you mean? Like they wanted him to do
whatever his replacement's doing, and he
wouldn't. I don't know. I hear you, but I also kind of feel like George Carlin and Jon Stewart were like floodgates for the left.
Yes.
And when George Carlin passed, all of a sudden, like the slime and grime NPC faces started pouring in.
Yeah.
I just imagine, like, that scene in Spider-Man where Spider-Man's got the webs and he's holding the train to stop it. That was like George Carlin. And he's like, ah.
I want George Carlin here to weigh in on this so bad.
Because he was a hippy-dippy lefty kind of dude.
Yeah,
but he rejected all of this stuff.
Yes.
And I mean, to an extent, even Jon Stewart. It was awesome when Jon Stewart was talking about the 9/11 Victims Fund.
Yes.
And he said, like, thank you, Donald Trump. You're the only one who's actually fighting for these people. He had no problem saying it. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I like it's my shtick is basically like, dude, Trump's got a bad attitude, but he deserves credit if he does something right. End of story. You can hate the guy. You can despise the guy. But if he's helping 9/11 victims, you say thank you. You encourage the good behavior.
And that's important to him, too. I mean, he's a New Yorker.
Yep. And he's like one of the few people who's actually, like, Jon Stewart's an awesome dude.
Yep.
It's too bad, though. He retired, and he was like the last person holding back the gates of all of this insane moral authoritarianism that just started flooding in. And now the media, like, for whatever reason, Fox News, like, look at this on the screen. I've got Fox News hiring Donna Brazile. It's you know Donna Brazile is?
Yeah.
The DNC, right?
Yeah.
She got a contract with Fox.
Are they just being objective? I don't understand.
I
She was
feel
the
like-
one that kind of leaked that everything happened with the
Right.
DNC.
I think Fox News realized that the left or whatever it is was kicking out its own people.
Yep.
And so they were like, scoop them up.
Yeah.
And so they'll end up sacrificing some more of their staunch, maybe like more evangelical or whatever, supporters or viewers. But they'll open up a tent to literally 10 million former Obama voters who switched for Trump.
Yep.
Because the media is just pumping out trash. Like I was saying before about the New York Times, they would rather lie about what's going on with the coronavirus, which could literally cause loss of life, because they want to smear a Republican. That's how insane it is. Like Tom Cotton said nothing unreasonable.
Now, the Washington Post, is that who published it, or was it
the both? It was the New York Times and the Washington Post.
Okay, I guess I always look at who owns these things, and I believe the Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos.
That's right.
Yeah, so I always wonder about the bigger, because they're going to say whatever their owner wants them to say.
I mean, look at Bloomberg.com literally saying we're not going to cover Bloomberg.
If it's Jeff Bezos who runs Amazon saying China's safe,
right?
I mean, that would make sense.
What deals does Amazon have that are threatened by bad press about China?
Are we going to get coronavirus if we open up our sweater
like
from
Simpsons?
China?
You remember that Simpsons episode?
Which one?
Homer orders the orange juicer from China or whatever, or it was from Japan, I don't know. And as they're boxing it, the guy coughs into it. And then when Homer opens it, the germs fly in his face.
Oh my
and
God.
He's like, ah!
I never saw that episode,
Yeah.
but they have predicted the future so many times that doesn't surprise me.
But you're not going to get coronavirus from ordering something like opening a box.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. But that's crazy. It's like, I have this test. If you go on my Instagram, instagram.com/Timcast, I posted it, scroll down. I do this thing where, as like a gag to my friends, I'll put on Fox News and they'll be talking about something. It's a lot of politics a lot of the time. But
They mostly do talk about politics, or they do the feel-good stories, which are nice.
no. But when there were protests sweeping Iran, Hong Kong,
Yes.
Mexico, when there was a big winter storm coming, they cover it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I bet if I switch to CNN right now, Trump,
Orange Man.
Orange Man.
Orange Man.
That's all it is. It's all Orange Man.
Yep.
That's all they do. I was at a skate park.
Yep.
And I was skating with a bunch of like people of all ages, but they're either like my age or younger.
Yep.
And there were two kids who were like 17, and we were just talking about general cultural issues because skateboarders tend to be like super libertarian, like, but they're hippies, so it's like, you know, kind of like me, like leave me alone, let me skate, let me do my thing. As Jordan Peterson says, don't bother children when they're skateboarding.
Yep.
But then I started talking about how like you can't trust anything on TV, and then one kid just goes, "Dude, CNN only talks about Trump." And I started laughing, and I'm like, "Yeah, high five, buddy! Like you get it.
Yep.
Like what's up with that?" So if you want to watch something, and what's crazy is like if you want to watch something with legitimate diversity of opinion, you have to watch Tucker Carlson, of all people.
He's gonna have anybody on there, and he's gonna talk to them.
And he's had Antifa on his show.
Yeah, I remember
and then
that.
I turn on CNN, and Brian Stelter has Media Matters on, and I'm like, you're enforcing your echo chamber while claiming they're the bad
Media
guys.
Matters. Oh, where he covers all the Trump typos. He did a whole Media Matters or something.
No. That's Brian Stelter's.
Yes, that's the other one. Yeah, so he did a
Media
whole...
Matters is the smear campaign.
Okay, all right. Yes, I mixed them up, but yes, he did.
Trump's typos.
His typos. He did a whole segment on typos.
And he does this thing where he like tries to qualify why it's okay he's doing it, and he goes, "Now I understand. You might be saying typos aren't really that big of a deal, but we're talking about the president here." It's like, I get it. You're trying to diffuse the people who are gonna come after you because you're doing a show about nonsense.
This is ridiculous.
But yeah, it's like we're in this crazy time now. I never thought I would be at the point where I would turn on Fox News for a Bernie Sanders town hall, which is more fair than the coverage he gets on like MSNBC or something.
Wasn't it because they wouldn't do one for him or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Fox News was the only one who would agree to do a town hall for him at a certain point in the campaigning.
So here's what I love. When Trump comes out and says they're cheating Bernie, it's, in my opinion, first and foremost, because they are.
Yes.
And they did it last time.
And he doesn't care. Like, Trump doesn't care. He's going to say...
Yeah, he's pointing it out. Like, look at it. But then you know what the media said why he was doing it? He's trying to destabilize the Democrats, or there's like some underhanded plot. It's like, dude.
Yes, that's the whole thing, because we have to vote blue no matter who. And, Trump's trying to tear us apart by saying that we're rigging this, but you guys know we don't. We wouldn't do that to you.
But do you think Trump sits there and like thinks like long and hard about what he's going to tweet? Or do you think he just grabs his phone and is like...
Exactly. I mean, is he stupid or is he brilliant? Like,
right, pick one. You can't
pick
be both.
One. He can't be both at the same time. You know, he's either a mastermind or he's an idiot. Which is it?
But if you think about it from probably more of a Trump supporter perspective, Trump just firing off a tweet off the cuff isn't smart or stupid.
Yes.
It's him just giving his opinion.
It is.
And so often they view him as actually planning out his moves, especially when it comes to Twitter too, to like distract the media. But on the left, they're arguing he's really, really dumb, but then also subverting the Democratic Party with his support of Bernie Sanders. Like, that view is simultaneously the mastermind moron.
Stupid criminal mastermind.
Yeah.
Like,
what does that say about them? If this guy's a moron, but he's also the corrupt criminal genius you think he is, and he's winning, man, that says like really awful things about you.
What they start to do, what I see in circles that they start to do, is they stop looking at Trump and start looking at his supporters. So they'll take Trump,
Bernie too.
Yeah, exactly. So Trump isn't a criminal mastermind. His supporters are idiots for believing it. And then it comes down to one of, the 10 standard talking points. Bad words, children in cages, and just the whatever it is. And it'll come down to his supporters. And they do the same thing with Bernie, his supporters to take it off of them so they don't have to argue whether or not it's an idiot or a super genius.
And it's because Hillary Clinton, like Pete Buttigieg, Biden, don't have supporters.
No.
They have like default liberals sitting at home watching sports or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they get a phone call where it's like, who are you voting for? And like, I don't know, Biden, I guess.
Yep.
And they don't know anything about it. They don't watch it. They don't pay attention.
Like name familiarity.
Yeah. And so then when you get actual supporters of anyone who's actually a fan, they express themselves online, all of a sudden you have the smear campaign against Trump, against Bernie. I don't think Tulsi or actually Yang got some of this. Early on, they were claiming Andrew Yang's supporters were far right. Like, yeah, it's the weirdest thing.
Oh, well, we get that for, I've gotten that for Tulsi too.
Yeah. Right. The
That's
alt-right
That's actually the
Democrats.
thing. That it's actually, I mean, I'm in Massachusetts and I have a Facebook page, and I don't have one for the Redheaded Libertarian, just my personal one. I never use it. I just go on there sometimes just to look around and lose faith in the universe again. But I went on, and it was right after the town hall, and somebody had said, I don't know who needs to hear this, but Tulsi's a far right plant. You need to stop putting your faith in her, because she did. She ranked like 6th or 7th in the New Hampshire because she put all of her work into New Hampshire. She like moved there, and
wow.
Yeah, she really did everything for New Hampshire, and she got like almost 4%. You have the vote. I mean, and that's with no coverage on CNN. That's with nothing but just door to door.
The problem is that the activists run the primaries.
Yep.
And so that's why you're seeing Bloomberg and Warren come out. But you know what? They end up getting woke and going broke because then they die in the polls. They lose their donations. But they need those cringy, activists to vote for them in the primary. Otherwise, they're not going to make it. But what's interesting, too, is I think you have Buttigieg, Klobuchar, Biden, Bloomberg. They're splitting the moderate vote up bad. So conspiracy theory, Bloomberg's friends with Trump. Bloomberg is dumping all this money. He's a Republican and then an independent.
Yeah, he's gone all over the board.
And he's flooding the Democratic primary process, destroying everything about them.
Oh, wow.
Nate Silver said that we're getting closer and closer to a contested convention. And one of the reasons is that Bloomberg is disrupting the whole process by skipping the first primaries.
I had said that. I said it's going to be a contested election because
Totally.
Bernie's going to have it until when it becomes a contested election according to the new rules for the
And
delegates.
the superdelegates come in.
Superdelegates walk right in and take it right away from Bernie again.
Yep.
Mark my words, heard it here first.
I agree. I'm betting the same thing.
Yep,
I just
betting
responded to Will Chamberlain put a bet on Bloomberg for the nomination because they're not going to let Bernie take it.
No.
I agree. I think Bernie's going to have just a little bit more regular delegates, but then they're going to say, "Oh no, it's contested. There's not enough to determine,"
That's exactly
and then
what's gonna happen.
superdelegates will step in.
Yep.
Bloomberg.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but so I saw a lot of activists on the left posting pictures of Bloomberg and Trump together. Like they're friends. They said something similar about Hillary and Trump.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not saying it's true, but it's a fun conspiracy thought.
It's a big club and you ain't in it.
That Bloomberg is secretly flooding the Democrats so that no one can win. Moderates get split up.
Yep.
Then maybe Bernie does take it because they think Trump will decimate him in the general. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We're live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want to catch the full recorded podcast, which doesn't appear in these clips, make sure you join by clicking the button down below, become a member, and then go to the community tab of this YouTube channel, and you can see all of our full episodes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want to get more clips like this. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all in the next show.